All right, so that brings us to our next question of what is the deal with these parentheses and the argument. So the argument is the very first term after the base. So when you're looking at log base b of x, this x is your argument. Now, the parentheses are not indicating in any way multiplication. The parentheses are very similar to the parentheses used for function notation. So if you have f parentheses x, you read that as f of x. If you have log x, you read that as log of x. So these parentheses around, they really are kind of translating into of. So the parentheses are indicating the argument, no multiplication whatsoever. So if there is just one term for the argument, the parentheses are optional. So you can write log base b with the parentheses around the x, or you can choose to drop them. If there is more than one term, you must use parentheses because you do need to group all of this as the argument. So again, this notation is not the same thing as writing log base b x plus 5. If you look at the second notation here, the argument would just be the x, it would not be the plus 5. So the argument there would just be x. So again, just to recap, the parentheses can be dropped when you have just one term for the argument. If it's more than one term, you do need to put the parentheses. So here, all of this would be the argument of x plus 1, whereas over here, without those parentheses, the argument would just be x.